Everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. We're going to try to get Docker running on this Mac. Just had to delete an older version of it using brew uninstall force Docker. It was just screwed up. Anyways, what is Docker? It's kind of like if you've seen the virtualization tools that I've been running over the years, including VMware, VirtualBox. Those have been pretty good, but they take up a lot of space, of drive space. So Docker is just a clean way of running minimal amount of programs that you need running in a kind of in a self-independent container. It does run on all the major operating systems, Windows, Linux, and Mac. And it's a pretty clean way, minimalistic way of running whatever you need in a virtualized environment. So I'm not going to get into all the terminology, but I just want to show you some highlights here. First, we're going to install the right way with Docker here. I want to make sure I have the most up-to-date version. So it looks pretty, hopefully straightforward. And let's give this a whirl. So first we need to find the download link. So we want the stable. Okay, so you can see it's downloading here using Safari, the browser. It's on Mac. This may take a while, so I'll pause it for now. Okay, so here we are with the image file downloaded, opened up, so we can just drag into our applications. Let's hope that this works fine. Just heard that plump. So let's see if we have it in our launch pad here. Docker. Hello, Docker. So we do our search, Docker. Well, Docker's right there. Docker's a new application. We're happy to have you. Welcome to Docker. Needs privileged access to install. You will need to enter your password. No problem. Okay. So I guess hang on for a moment. Click on the whale menu bar to access more options. Where's the mail? Oh, here it is. Docker starting, restart, about Docker, Docker store, sign in, quit Docker. Okay, so I guess I have Docker running. So that's good, I guess. So as I said, we are running this tutorial. So just so you know, we have this Docker Hub, which I didn't know about, which enables you to basically search for repository projects in Docker. And we've got one called Hello World that we're going to pull and try to run. So if I go into my console terminal here, go Docker, pull Hello World. And just for anybody that was curious, do not try to run this with brew install. It seems to get screwed up somehow. This interface I'm just trying out now is fairly new. And you'll get, if you try running brew, install, and update, whatever, you may run into these weird errors when you try to run something where it cannot connect to the Docker daemon and there's a daemon running. So I believe this is the daemon it refers to, this guy right here on the in the tray. And let's give it a whirl. So we're going to try to pull Hello World. So it's now pull complete. Okay, cool. So if we go over to our tutorial, we should be able to run the project. So this is what we did here, Docker pull Hello World. So let's just run to see what kind of Docker images that we have already installed. So yeah, we just have the Hello World. So we just ran that. The run, so we're going to run Hello World. So we're going to go run Docker, run hello-world. And I believe this is what we're supposed to get, hello from Docker. So it seems to run just fine. So now what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to do a Docker pull TensorFlow. So essentially the project that we are going to do is, I believe, TensorFlow right here. So this one we're going to do over 1 million pulls. Okay. So let us do that one. So we need to go docker pull TensorFlow slash TensorFlow. Fair enough. Docker pull TensorFlow slash TensorFlow. So I guess it's getting the latest, all the necessary dependencies for the Python. So this thing's probably going to be pretty big. I can tell already. 127 megs. So latest version of Mac OS, thankfully, is released back to my computer over 150 gig. The new Mac OS High Sierra. I don't know what they did, but apparently it's something to do with the hard drives. So the new operating system has been optimized for these new types of hard drives that are installed in the latest round of Mac hardware. This computer is 2015, so I might have been one of the first lucky ones to get that latest fix. So as I said, we've got over 150 available gig. Right now I'm just blabbing away. So I've got 158 gig free. Pretty good. So we're just waiting for the download to complete for all these repositories. So as you can see here, it's downloading, or if anything already exists, it already exists. So we could do a Docker image, and what we could expect to see are a bunch of new images. So we would have, I guess, Python, Ubuntu, maybe, I don't know, Alpine, OCR Python. So let's see what we got here. So we got 127 meg on one, 156 meg on another that's still downloading. To run Docker, so what we're going to do is we're going to run the image. For those that are on the podcast, Docker run -it-p 888:88888 TensorFlow slash TensorFlow, and that is supposed to bring up the Jupyter notebook. Okay, so moment of truth here is arrived. So we have downloaded newer image for TensorFlow latest. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to try to download this, run the project here, the TensorFlow. I've never done this before, so wish me luck here. So what it's going to do, it's going to load up a server edition, I believe. Jupyter Notebook is running at the port 8888, which I told it. There's no active kernels running for the Jupyter Notebook, and Control-C to stop the server or shut down. So if I go over to my browser, and I believe I got to enter in localhost, so I could just do it here. Hang on, let me just try. This won't work because it's going to the wrong. Yeah, so we want port 888, not 889. There we go. Token authorizes enable password or token. Log in. So I guess it's looking for some kind of token. Wasn't that easy? There's no exercise. Now to replace Docker run by, you can run TensorFlow Jupyter again or not. You should get outputs, create more containers, Docker run, and see how many get created. Really not interested in that. So it's asking for a password. Log in. Let me just see what the initial Jupyter password needs to be, I guess. Jupyter initial password. Okay, so there is a default password, it looks like. Oh, no, this is not Jupyter. Jupyter initial password. Running a notebook server. Is there a password we need to, that has been passed in this Docker? Okay, so we've got Quantlabs run IP TensorFlow. Writing notebook cookie secret to, so we got a cookie secret warning. The server is listening to all What is on, okay, so here we go. What is the Jupyter created data processor? I tried my Google, that doesn't work. Since Initiate just installs Conda Jupyter, this appears. Recent upstrain by your, the solution will add the line kernel, shell, blah, 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 blah. So it looks like some kind of bug or something. Your login password will be foobar_barbaz. Oh, so we have to set it somehow. You know what? I'm going to leave it. It's good enough. Something's running. Jupyter's definitely running. Oh, here we go. How to enable the password. Let's do that. By default, usually runs at 8 and is accessible from a local host. You may access it from the browser. Oh, okay, so we can do it another way. So that tutorial may be wrong. Nope, same problem. Okay. So Hortonworks saying it's asking for a password. I just want to be able to change it through the browser. If I can't fix it, I won't. Follow the instructions here to set up Jupyter Notebook public. So we have, okay, I'm going to forget that. Okay, so it is running, but we haven't gotten past the password. No problem, but it's something is running. Okay, that's all we care about, to be honest. Okay, so if we try to run local, so if we go command in the Docker command, see whether you can get Jupyter environment running again. I'm not going to bother with that. Okay, so what we can do now is we can set up our first Docker image. So we have to create a requirements.txt file. And what we're going to do is install Python 3.6. Going to get pip installed, and we're putting all this in the requirements. So we're going to go run pip install requirements, expose, no browser IP, allow root. Next, to build our image below that. So I guess we can put this requirements text file anywhere we want. TensorFlow isn't enough on its own. Suppose you want to use OpenCV2 and maybe scikit-learn and matplotlib. So I guess that's what we're going to install if we wanted to. I don't know. But not sure if I should just go ahead and try this out. Note to build, run docker build TensorFlow AV is a tagged image you wish. You can version it as well. Next. Okay, what I'll try to do is I am going to try this requirements file. Create a new console here. So let's go into our docs, Python. Okay, so what we'll try, we'll do, there's a Docker, no, okay, so we'll create a Docker folder, and we'll just call this Docker, so this is called requirements txt file. Is that right? Okay. So we will put this stuff together. Okay. Go into Sublime here, the editor. I'll just put a reference to this tutorial in there as well. Base image. So it looks like what we're doing here is we're installing 3.6, which we have, run apt-get. Oh, this ain't gonna work. Okay, I'm not gonna run that. Okay, so it's assuming I'm running on Ubuntu. So I took out some commands here of the apt-get update, which we don't really care, expose. So in this requirement, looks like it's running Python. It's gonna need Python 3.6, which we got, commented out the apt get update. Then it's going to copy the requirements text to somewhere, copying requirement. Then we run pip install no cache requirements. So expose the ports 8888. Run Jupyter Notebook. Oh, demo is the password. So we have cmd Jupyter Notebook, EIP allow root, blah blah blah. Okay, so that's our requirements text file. Next, build our image. We do that by docker build -t TensorFlow. First thing you want to do is create a requirement for a list. Is that on Docker official 3.6. For the base, we'll use the official command. Copy the requirements text, pip install from the requirements text. Okay, next type in. Now to build an image, run note that the tag image you wish to. You can version as well. Okay, so I'm assuming this is what we're going to type in here in this console. Docker build -t TensorFlow -av space with a dot, which is the current directory. Okay, let's see what happens here. Unable to prepare symlinks in Docker, else that no such file. I don't think the sudo will have anything to do with it. No such file. Okay, I think what it's trying to do, it's trying to next step is to build our image. Build below you can view. Okay, to build, run Docker. I'm not going to go any further than this possibly. You have, so it shows you how to load up to the Docker, the Docker hub. Now you have run the same command you want, TensorFlow, Docker. I'm sure I skipped a step here. Okay. First thing you need requirements for below that on Docker file would be comprised of, okay, we know that. The final will look as below. Next step is to build the image. So you do to build the image, run tag as you wish. The tags for all the run is provided here, which is so those are all the files that get run. I have no idea how this TensorFlow AV comes about. Could be an idiot here, but whatever. Note that you run TensorFlow. Well, at this point, I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. Well, I just wanted to give you an idea. I'm sure there's better timing, but let me just break this guy. No. So I'm going to go back into the initial instance of that Jupyter wanting the password, because now we know what the password is, which is demo. Where's my browser session for that? I think I just got to go to localhost 88888. Okay, so I guess the demo is the password. So no, it doesn't like that password. No. Anyways, I'm not going to worry about that, as I said. Okay, well, we kind of understand what Docker is. We've got it kind of running with this Docker server here. So we can do a Docker restart on it. We can also quit. Let me just quit Docker. But that's kind of neat. Got it running on the Docker itself, running on this Mac, and just did some basic stuff, which is okay. And then I'm sure I'll dig farther into how these Docker repositories work. But this is definitely something very useful instead of a standard virtual machine. Like with VirtualBox, you have a lot of drive space there. Anyways, hopefully this will hopefully kind of want to help you out later.